Merry Christmas, everyone. If anyone knows me, they know how obsessed I am with Christmas. The decoration, the music, the films, the fairy lights, everything about it, I absolutely love. It's that time for making a lot of delicious food, but also about kindness and love and caring for one another and not leaving anyone behind. So I decided to make a very Christmassy video for you all. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a chocolatey, datey, nutty, cinnamony drink that is absolutely to die for, and it is so Christmassy. This recipe is inspired by another classic Middle Eastern recipe called Sahlab, which I shared with you all a couple of months ago, but I thought I'd make it more Christmassy and share it around this time. So if you're out there and wanted to try a new Christmassy drink, then this is the recipe for you, because it smells like Christmas, it tastes like Christmas, and it will make you feel so Christmassy. This is the drink you want to drink all leading up to December, when you're decorating the tree, when you're having some Christmas drinks with your friends, and you can make this recipe easily like a Bailey's type drink. So if you're asking me what I'll be drinking this December, it'll definitely be this nutty, datey, Christmassy drink that melts my heart every time I have a sip. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, then please hit the button down below, because I will be posting new delicious vegan Middle Eastern recipes every Wednesday, so make sure you stay tuned. So you don't need a blender for this recipe. I'm using a blender just because I'm lazy, but you can easily, I'll tell you now how you can use this recipe without having a blender, just because I know that not everyone has a blender. So if you have a blender, then you just want to put a whole carton of plant-based milk in your blender. And if you're not using a blender, then you just put that in a pot, and you want to mush the dates beforehand and then just mix it in the pot with it. Honestly, it mixes fine, especially because this recipe is all about it cooking. That dates kind of disintegrates and becomes one. Don't you love this jug? Look how beautiful it is, the details. Oh, I mean, if you guys follow me on my social media, then you probably would have seen that I had a massive 2 boxes from my parents from Palestine, obviously from Palestine, full of everything you could imagine. We've got jugs, you've got bowls, you've got, some of them broke sadly on the way, but spices, those amazing date treats that we usually have on Eid, oh, everything you could ever imagine. It was literally like, just smelled so much of home. I literally had a little tear, just a piece of home to me. So we've got these dates from Palestine. Obviously you can use any majdool dates you want. Just try to use majdool dates because they're bigger and fatter and yummier. Right, so I will be using 5 to 7 dates. Get the pits out and whack it in the blender. So one thing about dates is that you want them to be really moist. Can you see how moist this is? Like, it's so stretchy and moist. So if it's not that, then you should put them in hot water for a little bit, soak them until they get nice, soft and mushy. Dates are just delicious, they're so delicious, and I'm really lucky to grow up in a country where dates is a very big part of our cuisine. So yeah, and we get the best dates ever. You find them everywhere. You can even eat balah. Balah is the younger version of dates. It's like yellow, and when it's in season it's everywhere and it's really tasty. But it tastes different to dates, you'll be a bit surprised. Right, so that is us. As I said before, if you don't have a blender, just add the plant-based milk in a pot and then mush the dates with your hands, and then add it in the pot and just keep mixing it, and it will, as I said, it will disintegrate and it will all become one, especially because there's heat involved. But I'm just gonna do it in the blender because, as I said, I am lazy. You can see all the date bits mixing about, and look at that drink, it already looks so delicious. Honestly, I think even just plant-based milk with some dates is a beautiful drink in itself, but we're going to be adding some more things to it to make it even more delicious. I want to put the hob on a medium heat. I love the sound of gas. I know it sounds really scary and crazy, but we used to have in Palestine gas heaters, and I just love, like, gas heaters remind me of the sound of winter, the sound of being all cozy and loved and just huddled up next to the fire with my siblings. I love that. So now we want to put 1 carton of milk, the one that we've already blended with the dates. And just leave a tiny bit that we can mix with the corn flour, because you need to mix it with a cold liquid. So you could just use water, but I like to use the plant-based milk itself, as it makes it less watery. So while we wait for the milk to heat up, you want to add 3 to 5, up to how much you like mistka, crushed mistka rocks. So just add it in and mix it about. So as I said before, you can get mistka rocks from eBay, and I think they come straight from Greece. And so mistka is it's the sap of certain trees, and it is delicious. It's very much part of our cuisine, our desserts. So I would definitely recommend that you invest in a pot, because A, it's really, really good for you, has so many health benefits, and B, it is so delicious. It goes so amazingly with all our desserts. So I would definitely say invest in a pot. But also, if you don't want to invest in a pot, if you don't feel like you want to give it a try, or if you can't afford it, this year has been really tough financially on all of us, to say the least. So yeah, don't feel like you have to buy some. I think you should, but if you don't want to, then you can easily not use some, and it will still taste amazingly delicious. So as I said, don't feel like you have to buy some, but if you do, you're not going to just be using it for this recipe. There are going to be tons of recipe that I've already shared and will be sharing in the future of how to use mistka. And then we want to add the rest of that milk onto a cup of cornstarch. So you want 2 to 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. It depends. If you feel like it's not getting thick enough after you add it, then add some more, no problem. But as I said before, it is essential that you mix cornstarch with a cold liquid first, and for it to all melt together with that cold liquid. Still not hot for the time being. Let's add some cinnamon. So we want to use a teaspoon of cinnamon, a heaped teaspoon of cinnamon if you ask me. Oh, that looks amazing, just amazing. I'm going to get you guys to see what I'm doing now, because it looks really cool. So I was going to show you, because it looked really cool, but it definitely does not look cool now. It all went everywhere. You know, when you put it on, I thought it was a medium heat, but I think it was a bit more on the high, so it just went everywhere. So I had to clean it. Oh my god, what a nightmare. But that is that. So yeah, it doesn't look as cool anymore. That is looking good. It's really heartbreaking that a lot of it just, what is the word? What is the word in English? Far, we call it in Arabic, which means, like, you know, when it gets really high and then it goes everywhere. What do you call it in English? If anyone knows, please let me know in the comments, because I'm quite intrigued. Far is what we say, but even far is also the same word for mouse. So we have a lot of jokes about about that. Alright, so now let's add the cornstarch. So as we said, 2 to 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. Start with 2. If you don't find that it's thick enough, add some more. And now you just want to keep mixing it until it gets thick enough. God, I do love Sahlab. It's so warming, so loving, so everything you could ever want. And it definitely marks the beginning of winter and the weather getting cold, and my mum starts making it. As I said before, you can make a version of this like Bailey's. Just add a bit of amaretto or any spirit you want. Yeah, just literally add a bit, add a bit of amaretto after you finish this, and you've got yourself some lovely hot Baileys, which is what I'm going to do tonight. because it's almost December and it's that time of the year. I'm just going to put it on a lower heat. We don't want what happened with me before to happen again. Easy now, easy. It's almost the end of lockdown, not that it matters because we're in tier 3, hooray. And the thing is, like, Bristol, how the hell have you managed to go from tier 1 before lockdown to tier 3 in lockdown? Obviously no one gives a... Yeah. You don't have to add a cinnamon stick, but I think it just makes it look nicer and taste better. As you can see, I get all my spices from Sahlab. Ow, ow, oh, I just burned myself. حياة الليل زهر الليل صوت العيد ضوء الليل موجي يا سما بالعناقيد يلي بالحلا والمواعيد دور الليل يا سوو دور الليل يا سوو. If anyone knows me, they know that I am so bad at knowing the lyrics. I make up most of them are lyrics. I remember the tune and then I just make up the lyrics, and most of it doesn't make any sense. So sorry Arabs out there if I'm really butchering this song, but it is my favourite Christmas carol. When I was young, I used to wake up every day at 5 AM after we've decorated the Christmas tree just to watch it. Not to watch anything else, just sit there and watch a Christmas tree. My mum probably used to think I was possessed. No, she used to think it's the sweetest, cutest thing ever. She used to wake up and just find me sat in the living room, just sat there watching the tree for hours. My mum would be like, oh my God. She got used to it in the end. I still do it sometimes. If I'm feeling really distressed, just watching the Christmas tree can bring so much joy to my heart. And well, that's why I have fairy lights everywhere I go. Everywhere I go, there's fairy lights. كنا نزين شجرة صغيرة ونعلق فيها جراس عليها نجوم بتلمع لمعة بتلمع مثل الألماس مليانة برد ومليانة ملبس أبيض بأكياس يا أجراس وعوا الناس للقداس يا أجراس يا أجراس الليلة عيد وعوا الناس يا أجراس الليلة عيد وعوا الناس يا أجراس الليلة عيد وعوا الناس. Merry Christmas everyone. I'll give it 2 more minutes and then I would say it's ready, and then we're gonna add some chocolate and it's gonna melt and it's gonna be amazing. Alright, I think that's looking thick enough. Now let's add some chocolate. So you want to add as much chocolate as you want. I'm adding this much. How much is this much? That is like 6 chocolate blocks. 6 small chocolate blocks. I'm using Gluten, but you literally can use any chocolate you want. As soon as you feel like the chocolate is all melted, then you can pour it in. And we're all done. And as we say in Arabic, صحتين وعافية. Why not sprinkle some crushed nuts and cinnamon on top, and some mini marshmallows if you're feeling fancy. Also, some orange zest will go so nicely with it and make the whole drink even more Christmassy. Don't forget to tag me or send me a picture if you do attempt to make this or any of my other recipes. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, because I will be posting new delicious vegan Middle Eastern recipes every Wednesday, so make sure you stay tuned.